I swear, these people just keep finding every dumb reason they can and show why they don't understand a damn thing about racing. Adam Stern tweeted out an article about the drama that's surrounding the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway again via an article from Axios, Nashville. And in it, it states how opponents of the fairgrounds are pushing back on racing at the track altogether. They don't want just NASCAR to not be there. They don't want a track to be there, which is pretty much what we knew. Just look at that really crappy Cumberland Yard BS that they tried to pull, which we all knew wasn't real. Mayor Freddie O'Connell has also expressed both an affinity for the track, but an affinity also to hear out the opposition's options and maybe go from there. A stark contrast to the previous mayor of the city. And all of this sparks off from a local businessman and owner of the Nashville soccer club right next door, John Ingram. He owns that soccer club in the neighboring Giadis Park, which is the stadium that has caused a lot of problems when it comes to any renovation and bringing of NASCAR to the Nashville Fairgrounds. And now he's, I think, taken an option that, in my opinion, is something kind of nasty. He is talking about withholding funding for affordable housing plans in Nashville altogether. That being which he is saying that next door to the stadium, he's going to build affordable housing. I'm sorry, but this reeks of BS. No, he does not want to build affordable housing next door. In my opinion, he just wants to have the land next door. There's already an apartment complex that's about 1,000 feet, if not less, from the track, and he wants to have more of that surrounding area to build up however he wants. Withholding money for affordable housing, in my opinion, on one end can be just seen as nasty on the nicest way, but on the other end could be seen, in my opinion, as just pure evil. Why would you want to do that in an area that is already so expensive to live in? It's clear it's just a power play and a money grab for him. He doesn't give a damn about the people that live in the area. He claims that the track would compete with his neighboring stadium for concerts, events, and other scheduling deals, and also says it would prevent a pro-women's soccer team being in Nashville. And to me, this stuff is crocodile tears. Not because of those things, I think some of them might actually be somewhat valid, but because somehow in a major city, you're not going to be able to afford to have a few lower tier events next door to a main line racing series. I mean, it's dumb to me. Soccer is a second or third tier sport in America, depending on which way you look at it. MLS definitely on the lower end. You have the Tennessee Titans, a team that when they're good will have people show up, but outside of that will only have opponents' teams show up when it comes to the fan base. You have no MLB team in the city, no NBA team, the IndyCar race is gone, you don't have a chance in hell at Formula One or any other major sport coming in other than a one-time event, and that's usually going to be either at the Titan Stadium or Bridgestone Arena, which is on the other side of town. So Nashville, in my opinion, and its business owners, like John Ingram, are proving why it probably will never break through to be a top-level sporting city in the United States. I mean, look at a similar-sized city area when it comes to their sporting culture in the Twin Cities area of Minneapolis and St. Paul. They roughly have the same population as Nashville combined, and yet they have three major teams on top of different sporting events and different events in general that pop up in the city. You have the Twins, the Timberwolves, and the Minnesota Vikings, all three of which can and have been able to mix and match their schedules so there's minimal overlap. And there'd be way more games and events with those three teams at different times of the year that would overlap than I think Nashville would have when it comes to 8 or 9 Titans games, as well as however many soccer games you have through the year. And on top of that, NASCAR and Bristol have talked about the track, if they have the lease for it, having less events than it currently does have, which is around 10. It would maybe go down to 8 or so, and that includes the NASCAR date, and testing days would go down, meaning that noise levels and traffic in the track will go down, while money with the NASCAR event especially would go up with it. So none of this makes sense when you take at least a little bit of brain power in thinking about it. And this is on top of the anti-track groups now withdrawing their proposal about the racetrack and trying to draft up a new one. A quote-unquote more ambitious plan to get rid of the track completely from Nashville, as they claim that Nashville has completely moved on from having a racetrack in NASCAR, that it's something that's old and needs to be discarded. They cite a poll that they put on that 21% of the locals support NASCAR, where 71% would rather build affordable housing in the area, even though there is no plan whatsoever to do so, and it would take years upon years to do so. And also, there's just no path for it. It flies in the face of independent polling over the years that's shown an overwhelming amount of support for the track's renovation process. To me, desperation is what this reeks of. Desperation's been the opposition's name of the game the entire time with this, and lying has been the name of the game for a lot of them. And it seems like all of this is culminating over time to just completely push off over and over and over again until NASCAR, SMI, and Bristol just say, F it, we're done. But at this point, when do we see any movement when it comes to this in a positive direction? Well, Tennessee lawmakers have talked about maybe lowering the amount of votes it takes to pass through stadium funding and sports funding, so that's a possibility. And the earliest you could see any of the voting when it comes to moving the fairgrounds and SMI's deals forward would be August of 2026, according to the article. So at the moment, they probably won when it comes to just letting a bunch of half-wits, Karens, and yuppies push it off into the future, because that is really the pushback against this track. A bunch of people who moved next to a racetrack that was there long before they were born and bitched and moaned because it was too loud, even though they damn well knew it was going to be there. And don't give me the crap that, oh, well, we assumed it was going to be closed. You can't assume that stuff. If there's a working operational business, sporting event, stadium, you name it, you have to put in the plan that, yeah, it's gonna be right there. So I don't care what they say, it's just excuses to me. So now I want to pass this on to you. I don't want to ask you a question, but rather just tell you from experience, if you're in the local area, if you're going to be at this track, if you want this to succeed, fight for it. Fight with everything you have, because I've not lost one but two of my tracks. Yeah, everyone who watches this channel knows about the Chicagoland Speedway, how it doesn't have a race there anymore, and I went there every year from 2007 to closing. And yeah, there could be a chance of it coming back, and I will fight hard in any way I can to have that happen. But at my local track that I lived a mile away from in the Rockford Speedway, it closed, got shut down, even after renovations. There just wasn't enough fight and money in the area. This is your chance, Nashville. Fight back. Take this track back, take your city back, and let's bring some NASCAR races to it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody who's come in. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, everything else on the channel. And be sure to watch NWP tonight on Eric Estepp's channel. We have guest break card coming on, and we'll talk all about this as well. So until then, have a good one.